Welcome to Karibu Anawim's program, 15 Minutes at Dr. Zayli's Desk, where we explore topics related to living with a facial disfigurement. This program is for you, your loved ones, for educational purposes and professionals who would like to know more about living with facial disfigurement. Our presenters have lived experience, research background, or work with people living with facial disfigurement. It's important to begin the conversation with terminology that society understands and is clear. We use the word disfigurement as it is the medical and legal terminology. We recognise you may identify with other words such as visible difference or with your own diagnosis. Let's see where the conversation goes. So pull up a seat, grab a cuppa, and let's chat around the table with Karibu Anawim's 15 Minutes at Dr. Zayli's Desk.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to the last week of October, would you believe? This month's topic has been common issues out and about in public, and last week we dealt with dealing with the issue of isolation, whether or not that was an issue, and it is. And this week, thank you very much to all of you who have written in, and we've compiled our list of questions for this week. So let's grab a cuppa and let's have a chat about the questions, shall we? Now, got to find the questions after I've had a cuppa. Oh dear, banners. Right. Fire one. Question number one is, what happens when you meet people for the first time? Well, sometimes that's a really loaded question. Sometimes nothing happens. Sometimes they just welcome us with open arms and says welcome, and say lovely to meet you, how can we help, or lovely to meet you, please meet so and so. And sometimes people can be awkward, not know where to look. Sometimes they can stare, sometimes they can be uncomfortable, and sometimes they can avoid. These are all scenarios that may or may not happen when you first meet a person for the first time. Question two, is it me or is it them? Well, I'd like to answer this twofold. One, is it me? What do you do? Do you smile? Do you say welcome? Do you smile? Do you say hi? Or do you ignore, or do you dismiss them? And is it them? Sometimes it is them. Sometimes it's not our issue. Sometimes it's just them. Because they don't know where to look, what to do, how to interact. They just don't know. Sometimes they're caught like a deer caught in the headlights, kind of thing. Oh my gosh, what do I do with this person? It shouldn't happen, but it does. Question 3. What do you do if people point at you or look away? Well, next month, we look at an entire month of the importance of educating others. So please hang in there and watch out for next month's episode, which is happening next week, beginning. So what can you do? How can you feel empowered? Maybe a way of finding out and feeling empowered yourself is sharing your story, which we looked at for a whole month last month. So, you could either look at some ways to educate others, or learning how to write your own powerful truth-packed story. What do you want to do? How do you want to handle people when they point at you or look away? Perhaps just smile and acknowledge them. That one might be good as well. Question 4. What do you do when people laugh at the way you look? And I am so sorry if this has happened to you. It's happened to me. You're in good company. I know it's cliche to say, please try not to take it to heart. And that it's more representation of them. It's talking about more of them, not you. But that's just, sometimes that's truth. And sometimes that truth sucks. Sucky, really. Acknowledge that it hurts. And, you might actually ask them, if you're bold enough, why are you laughing? This is my face. What you laughing at? You could move away. You could ignore them. Or you could offer your story, depending on whether or not you would like to or not. These are just some strategies that you can use. Question 5. How do you answer unwanted questions such as, have you been burnt? Well, you have a battle plan. And in your battle plan, you need to have some tools, some well-oiled and ready tools to actually to be able to combat, and it's in combat, the stares and the avoidance and the discrimination that we face, stares, avoidance, and the isolation that we face. So in our battle plan, we also have to have strategized what questions we will answer, and I can feel a sneeze coming on. Oh, sorry. In your battle plan, you need strategies in order to combat the stares and the avoidance and the isolation. And also in your battle plan, you also need to have pre-prepared, pre-scripted, and practiced statements that need to be rehearsed for such unwanted questions like, have you been burnt? Like, for example, I will not answer that question, or I don't give that information out, or I don't feel comfortable answering that question, or why did you ask that question? Could you think of another way of asking, a polite way of asking? Something like that. Go on, have some fun. Have some fun with it, but you have to practice, because if you don't practice, it won't come over as confident, and we need to be confident. Sometimes we can be a little bit too confident, but sometimes, we just need to rehearse these things. So, pardon me, I'm burping, I'm sneezing. Oh, it's got it all, this session. And question 6, is it different between kids and grown-ups? I'm presuming, is it different? Is the way that people stare and avoid and isolation, is it different being a kid than being a grown-up? And ultimately, the answer is no. Kids kids are kids and adults are big kids in big bodies. What does happen is the sophistication grows or increases. Like, for example, instead of the kids, kids will just like stare at you with their mouth open like this, and adults will kind of like be a little bit more respectful, maybe, depending. And I've got my glasses this time, so they may just like look like this over there, over there, over there, over there, over there, over their phone like this. They might just go like this before putting it up. Oh, I'll use them now. And both kids and adults can be curious, rude, genuinely ignorant, and taught incorrectly in how to approach us. Question 7, our last one for the day, is my kid has a facial disfigurement. What do I do to protect them from people? We want to wrap our kids up, don't we? Regardless of whether or not they live with a facial disfigurement or not. We want to wrap them up so people don't hurt them. But wrapping your child up in cotton wool is not a long-term solution. Perhaps you need to go to get some counselling with a experienced counsellor or psychologist who's got the lived experience or has had some training in it. That might be a go. But also, getting your child, having a look through last month's, which is September's help of, writing your own story. Perhaps you can get your child to write their own story with a beginning, middle, and end, or orientation, complication, and conclusion, complication and solution, should I say? You might want to script. You might want to help script a story or script a family script of how to protect them of what your child is going through. So that doesn't only help your child, but it also helps you. And if you've got any children, other children, or even their cousins, it could help them. So please go back and have a look at last month's sessions of the power of story and writing your own, and also some forms of self-disclosure. How do you protect? So protect your child by equipping them with the right tools in order for them to get their battle plan happening. And you might have a battle plan as a family to attack these things. Hopefully that has been really helpful for you today. Remember that it's okay not to be okay, and to practice some self-care this week before we meet again. Remember, this month we're going to practice our finger or our hand tracing for our breathing technique. So it's breathing up, breathing in on the way up, tracing your finger up, and it's pausing on the tip and then breathing out again on the way down. You ready? Let's do this together. Breathing in through your nose, hold at the fingertip, breathing out through your nose, tracing down. Breathing in through your nose, hold at the fingertip, breathing out through your nose on the way down. Breathing in, hold at the fingertip, breathing out tracing down, breathing in, hold, breathing out, breathing in, hold, and breathing out. Thank you very much for joining me this week. Thank you very much for bringing your questions and answers in, or your questions, writing your questions to us. Next week is November, would you believe? And with a new, oh, my words today, with a new, no, it's not going to come. The month of November, with a new month, is a new topic. And as I've already mentioned, next month's topic, which is November's topic, is the importance of educating others. That's the overarching topic for the month. So see you, same time, same place next week. And I'm getting everything organized so we can say goodbye. So see you later.
By golly gosh, it's the end of Karibu Anawim's 15 Minutes at Dr. Zaley's Desk. And that's a wrap for this episode. Thanks for tuning in. Please remember that all information given during this episode is for general application only. If you have any specific medical issues, as always, consult with your medical practitioner. Like, subscribe and share on whatever platform you find us on. For more information, please connect with Karibu Anawim on our website at karibuanawim.com or email us at inquiries@karibuanawim.com.